June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, a time to shine a light on the disease that now affects more than 7 million Americans. That number is expected to double in the coming decades. Joining us today is Dr. Carl V. Hill, the Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer at the Alzheimer's Association. Dr. Hill brings a wealth of experience in public health and scientific engagement, and today he's here to talk about the latest research and why early warning signs matter and how the new national campaigns are helping families recognize symptoms of Alzheimer's. Dr. Hill, welcome to the program.
Oh, thanks for having me here today.
The latest figures show that 7 million Americans are currently living with Alzheimer's with this disease. What does the data tell us, and how does it reflect the growing impact on American families?
I tell you, Alzheimer's is the sixth leading cause of death among people aged 65 years and older. We estimate that the lifetime risk for Alzheimer's dementia at age 45 is approximately 1 in 5 for women and 1 in 10 for men. So this is a public health crisis that we've got to respond to. And the Alzheimer's Association is just really proud to partner with the Ad Council to develop this Some Things Come with Age campaign, urging people to learn the early signs and symptoms of Alzheimer's disease and other dementia in their loved ones, which can often be mistaken for normal signs of aging.
Yeah, I will just be open with you. My father has been diagnosed with moderate Alzheimer's. So I definitely understand when it's difficult to tell the difference between signs of aging and early signs of Alzheimer's. I remember when I look back now thinking, no, oh, these were early signs. I think were early signs of Alzheimer's. What are some of the key warning signs some families should look out for?
Yeah.
Because to us, we were oblivious to the whole thing.
You're sending all of the wishes for you and your family and your father. I tell you, close family members are usually the first to notice changes in their loved ones. So it's critical to educate communities and people on the warning signs of Alzheimer's and how they may differ from normal aging. Early detection can help ensure that a parent, a loved one receives the best care, support, and access to treatment. And typical age-related changes might include making a bad decision once in a while, or missing a monthly payment, or losing things from time to time. We all do that. But some signs of Alzheimer's could be poor judgment and prolonged decision-making, or inability to manage a budget when that's something that a loved one had no problems doing over the course of their life, losing track of the date or season. And so it's critical that we get these resources to families and communities so they can start the discussion. And starting that discussion, there could be opportunities to seek quality care and treatment. And 10 signs, 10signs.org has a wealth of information related to these signs and symptoms and resources about how to start that important conversation.
So why is early detection of Alzheimer's so important, both for the individual and the caregivers?
For the first time, in Alzheimer's treatment, there are disease modifying medicines. So not a cure, but can certainly slow the cognitive decline. And that's critical because it gives families more time to plan. It gives the individual who's diagnosed a higher quality of life, and caregivers a higher quality of life. And so it's important that family know the early signs. And what's critical here is that for these treatments, they're only available to individuals in the early stages of the disease. And so if you miss that window, then these disease modifying treatments aren't available to people. The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council really believe that getting people information about what to detect, what to look for, is important on this journey of getting the best quality care and support and treatment that's available today.
Let's talk about health disparities. Research shows that the Black Americans are at a higher risk for Alzheimer's. What are some of the contributing factors for that, and how is the Alzheimer's Association working to address this?
Yeah, really good question. Black African Americans 2 times more likely to have Alzheimer's or another dementia, and genetic factors do not appear to be driving this elevated risk among Black African Americans. Instead, research suggests that differences in life experiences, socioeconomic indicators, and higher rates of health conditions such as cardiovascular disease and diabetes most likely explain the difference in risk for Alzheimer's and other dementias for Black African Americans. Another part here is that Black African Americans less likely to receive any type of diagnosis. And so it's important that we make this resource, 10signs.org, available. We make sure that communities are aware that they can go there and receive information about what to look for. It's so critical and so important in addressing this disparity that we see in Alzheimer's and other dementia.
Yeah, I just want to go back a little bit. You mentioned Alzheimer's, you mentioned dementia. You don't do. I just want to see if you want to explain to folks exactly what is the difference between the two.
Yeah, good question. One I get all the time. Alzheimer's is a type of dementia, the most common type of dementia that causes problems with memory, thinking, and behavior. Dementia is an umbrella term for diseases that lead to a loss of memory or language, behavior, and problem solving, right? Symptoms usually develop slowly and get worse over time, becoming severe enough to interfere with daily tasks. And so that is as difficult as Alzheimer's and dementia is, it gives us an opportunity along that journey to get people resources. Again, I mentioned for the first time, treatments that slow cognitive decline. We're learning more and more about what's good for the heart, it's good for the brain. There's so many things that people can do to address Alzheimer's and dementia if we give them the resources so that they can act in a timely manner.
Yeah. And you mentioned the Ad Council and the Alzheimer's Association recently launched a new PSA as part of the Some Things Come with Age campaign. What message do these ads aim to send, and who are they trying to reach?
Yeah, the new creative educates and pre-care partners about focusing on core memories made with older family members, while emphasizing why it's important to have a deeper understanding of the early signs of Alzheimer's. So by highlighting subtle signs like having trouble completing familiar tasks or frequently forgetting important dates or events, the PSAs raise awareness around cognitive and behavioral changes that aren't normal aspects of aging. And so we're really excited to partner with the Ad Council. These PSAs will be far and wide on TV, billboards, radio, and really hoping to get this information to Black African Americans in an equitable way. People see themselves in the campaign, they're included so that they can take advantage of the resource and act.
So now you say you have a loved one, you may recognize signs of Alzheimer's dementia. What are some of the resources or next steps would you recommend for families who suspected a loved one might be showing early signs of dementia?
It's never, too soon, to see a doctor. And so, in terms of Alzheimer's, is diagnosed using a combination of medical history, neurological exams, cognitive assessment, and sometimes confirmed by brain imaging or cerebrospinal fluid analysis. And doctors may also use psychiatric and psychological evaluations to rule out other conditions causing similar symptoms. It's important once you go to 10signs.org, become better informed of what some of the warning signs could be. And if it's time to have a conversation with a doctor, that's critical and so important to maintain the health of a loved one.
Yeah. Finally, Dr. Hill, with June being Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, what are the most important takeaway you want listeners to remember today from our conversation?
I want people to know that there are resources that are available, and this is a new time in Alzheimer's and dementia treatment. For the first time, there are disease modifying treatments, and so it's important to know the warning signs so that people can act in an informed manner. So I would really encourage your listeners and viewers to go to 10signs.org to become better informed. Visit us at the Alzheimer's Association, alz.org, and call us at any time. Anytime. Our 1-800 number is available every day at all times of the day. It's 1-800-272-3900. Please be in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you to help you develop a care plan or to answer questions related to Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yeah, absolutely. Dr. Hill, thank you so much for your time. We're talking to Dr. Carl V. Hill, the Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer at the Alzheimer's Association, talking about June being Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. Again, thank you so much for talking to me. I do really appreciate it.